little turd. Come here. Let go. Get out. Go lay down. I said, boy, the little eagle, this little cute eagle. Come on. Alright, is that fan on? I'm so out of sorts. Wait, are you warm enough?
Yeah.
Are you under both of those blankets? Huh? You're under all of them, silly goose. Alright. Okay. Hello! Welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Mom's already in bed. In case you didn't get that. Everything's all weird. I don't know. It's just... It's been an off day since the get-go. I came out at like 6:30. She usually doesn't get out of bed until 7:30 or so. And I came out to do something at 6:30 and she got up. And once she got up, she wanted to sit in her chair, so she's tired. She had a little vanilla ice cream, said she has a little bit of a headache, so I am her bedtime story this evening. It's just been weird. Like, it's just been weird. I went down to the coffee shop. Nobody was around. Dangle. I did sew my coats, though. I had busted out the underseam on two of my my two main coats, and I did a pretty good job. I was sitting here. I got my sewing kit. And I get these hooks. I like these hooks. They're back there in the sewing department too. These. I like these. Mom taught me how to... I said, Mom, I was really young when you taught me how to sew. Like, freaking, like, 5 or 6. That's always stuck with me. I can do buttons. I can do socks. I can sew all kinds of stuff. I'm not real good with zippers. I've never done a zipper, but if it's anything like the hood of a car or doors, where there's tricks because there's alignment, but so I did do something today. I haven't had any gust. My gust has gone. I got no juice. I was over there listening to Jesse and that guy on Right On Radio, and I guess this is that weekend where where everybody freaking, I don't know, that dumb old people. Do people still watch? Do people still watch things like the Olympics? I never really did. My grandparents did. It was boring to me. It's just like, that's no kind of life. Of just doing the same thing over and over and over because you're really good at it. That's no kind of life at all. I guess they'll live life later after their peak performance. So, but I don't know. I just was never into it. I'm not athletic, so I did go because I lived in Omaha and they're huge on like Olympic trials and all that shit. They're big on a lot of stuff I don't give a crap about. That's why probably one of the reasons why I moved. But I did go to some nationals or some sort of some years back of ice skating, which was kind of like a full circle kind of thing. Because when I was a little kid, on Sunday afternoons, we only had 2-3 channels on our little 10-inch black and white TV, and I watched those people do that ice skating stuff, so it was cool to be in a box where they were watching that, where they had the food laid out, stuff, seeing how the other side live, how the important people live. Then I became far less important. I am so unimportant now. Oh my gosh. I'm unimportant, virgin on insignificant. Pushing on that. So, yeah, I just have been I went in and tried to meditate, and that was a no-go. And I was thinking about it. I was listening, because there was probably 450 people in the chat when listening to Jesse. And they were talking about their 2 certs worth about this weekend, because it's one of those highly ritualistic weekends. And people that don't give a shit about it, people that are too busy flipping boards and swilling beer, it's not going to be on your radar. Because you're too busy, feeding into that system of nonsense. But I wrote on Twitter a little while ago. See if I could find it. I don't participate much on Twitter. I think it's stupid. But I said more people recognize the Super Bowl and halftime show should be a satanic dark magic ritual than watch the scripted show. It's not that world anymore. It really isn't. The world is people can't close their eyes to what the reality of what the world really is anymore. And it's weird to still see people talk about parties like those dim and those, no, it's a circle of greed. People know that, or a triangle, I should say, because they all do that stuff, What's that noise? Stan Lee. He's trying to help himself to his little CAT food. Even the pets, they've been all, well, Tango's been sleeping inside all day, so he's lazy like me. And Stanley's ready to go because he's been sleeping all day too, but Benny never even came to bed last night. Look, they're all knocked out. All the dogs are knocked out. Luna never came out, but Tucker's here, Artie's here. Benny slept with Grandma Retta all night long. He stayed the night at his grandma's house, and that was weird not to have Benny right next to me because he's my little spoon, and that's the first time I think that he hasn't been my little spoon since I got him, like, I don't know, 8 years ago. We've all been together a long time, but our pets are our family because we don't have a big extended family. So we got so much love in us, we got to extend it out. I tried it with people, and I'm not as successful because I'm not good at picking people that are good at reciprocating energy. They're just good at freaking sucking it. So, but I'm trying. I'm never not learning. Hey, Nate. That's cool. I'm glad you're doing good. I saw you a little bit in Zach's chat earlier. For a little while. I just popped in and out because I don't know. Sometimes I like his cadence, but he's been playing a lot of songs lately. Slowed down, which gets me to thinking, how is it that people like those channels, like that girl that lives in the cabin, Hannah? How come she can dance around listening to her iTunes and singing, and there's no copyright kind of anything? But I'm like you I could play stuff in the background where I could hardly hear it, and someone's like, nah, copyright. What's that algorithm about? I wonder. I look at the whole world as some people are allowed to do all this stuff, and the rest, good luck. So, it's getting pretty interesting. What is it, February 10th? Oh, I'm kind of excited about this. I'm meeting my first couple tomorrow to officiate my first wedding ceremony. Yeah, that's cool. I'm pretty stoked about that. This is a vision I had freaking back in 2018. I was like, I would love to freaking marry people. I one summer when I was in Omaha, I went to 7 weddings. 2 of those are still intact. 2 out of the 7. That's all right. We're living to learn. So I've always thought that would be cool. So I did one of those online things. And I was like, I wonder. And then I was sitting at the coffee shop one day, and I remember even listening to a YouTube talk, because I wanted to do this in Northern California by Mount Shasta and stuff like that, but God had other plans for us. So, I remember even hearing a lady like doing, I don't know if she was doing astrology or what she was having some kind of talk like that, and I said, hey, okay, hey, and she's like, hey, Heyoka, me and my husband were married by a Heyoka on Mount Shasta. And I was like, oh, that's what I wanted to do, but I guess that's why I wasn't supposed to do it. Someone else was already doing it. So anyway, so I was sitting at the coffee shop a couple months ago, and a gal that I met there said to me, can you marry people? And I was like, you know what? I think I can. Let me look at that. And so I started looking at that, and sure enough, in the state of New Mexico, I, in fact, can marry people. I even called the county clerk's office today. But the lady girl was so nice. She was so very nice. She's very sweet. She's very kind. And I was like, listen, I'm an ordained online minister, and I looked online, and I see that it is recognized. What do I need to do with you guys? She said, nothing. All you got to do is sign, what your title is, chaplain or whatever. Better figure out what that is. And then once they sign it, that's it. That's good. They got to apply for their wedding license and all that stuff. So yeah, so that's cool. And my first wedding is gonna be on providing things go well. They want me to do it still after tomorrow. Maybe they have somebody else in mind. Who knows? You never can tell. That it would be nice, but I look at everything as divine timing. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it's not supposed to be yet. So it'll be February 22nd at 2 p.m. So 22 at 2 p.m. I think they should hold out for 2:22 p.m. But anyway, so it's not my deal. I'm just here to support and make sure things are done right, and that they get to be together until death do they part. So anyway, what else? Yeah, just lots of stuff coming out. Just lots of really, really weird stuff coming out. A lot of weird stuff coming out. My eyes hurt real bad. My whole body hurts today. All my dog bites, all the freaking shots, just all this stuff it's like a roll call for every freaking ailment I've ever had today. It's my energy field is just really sensitive today. So I've done a few sets. That's why I gotta keep moving, and that's why I gotta keep I gotta lift weights, and I gotta stay active. It's the idle. It's the staying still that's a killer, man. That's when people get themselves in trouble. I don't know. People don't keep in motion, you lose it. You lose your ability and your agility and your dexterity and stuff like that. Just like when you don't use this. You lose it. You lose your ability to think and process and to solve problems and to look at it this way and that way. I'm always doing things in ways that are uncomfortable. just to use different parts of my brain. Like I'll write with my right hand because I'm ambidextrous, but I write with my left hand. I can bat left, I can bat right, I can golf left, I can golf right. It's just, I try stuff. I just screw around a lot. And I'm like, hey, I can do that. Oh, and I can shoot left and shoot right too. That's another thing I can do. Well, I'm not really big on guns. I prefer to keep my shooting to cameras, so I can shoot left and right too. Also, the camera. Actually, I start out with one eye and then I dial in with the other when I shoot. But I'm at that age where my sight is changing, so sometimes I get frustrated with the camera and stuff like that because my eyes don't work the way they used to. So. Yeah, things are changing so fast. I feel like, some days I feel like it's like been a year. Or, sometimes I feel like a week's been a year. It's just, especially on days that I feel like I do today. Yeah, I feel like an old lady and I'm not. Go to bed. See you later, Nate. Have a rad night. Peace. Yeah, it's a trip. Where I live, it's just like I can feel all of this energy just percolating, this kinetic energy just on the grids are just all over, whether it's storms, whether it's fear, whether it's storms freaking or just people are fearful all over the freaking world. And then, or people not just fearful, but they're also excited, which is also a heightened, elevated frequency. So all this frequency, and so there are people that are excited about Sunday. That's another frequency. So all this stuff is going on. What's the matter, Tingy? What's the matter, Tingo? It's in emotions and deep in the oceans. I just sit right here in the sleepy time. He's such a cute little cat. Skit's up there taking a siesta, and Stanley's on top of his ladder. When the lights go on, his eyes go laser eyes, Stanley. Anyway, I was thinking about that earlier, about how people are they're getting so many things twisted up between good and evil that it's causing problems. It really is, man. People, it's where your heart space is, Something could be freaking have wicked intentions, but the thing of it is, I don't. I don't have wicked intentions, right? So I'm not perpetuating the ideals of these storylines out here. And I think about, okay, Marge, look at all this stuff that pushes something. Look how big the world is on getting to be people to see something different than how it really is. Hollywood. Hella weird. Hollywood. Call it whatever you want. How much freaking resources are siphoned into that paradigm to get people to escape for a couple hours? And then it's like these people get paid millions of dollars to play, to act. All the while, people on their streets, there's homeless people all over the place. It's just, it doesn't add up. It just doesn't seem right. And it's just, and you start seeing how it's like the deck is stacked there too. Decks are stacked all over the place. I learned that a long time ago. So I just have been like, okay, God, whatever you want us to do, whatever you want me to do, I'll do what you want me to do. I'll be obedient in in your will over mine, because my will, it didn't work out well. My will was move to Oregon, get a job, have a wonderful life, and none of that happened. So now and then I just listened to, I just follow the guidance of God, good orderly direction, my higher power, and we ended up 2 states away, 3 states away. But and with all, like, right now there's freaking, I think we have coronal holes earth facing tonight right now. And I think it's interesting on Twitter. I saw today they like had a phone call with Nixon, and he was on the telephone, and then he was talking to the people that landed on the moon. And it's just like, do people still believe that even happened? We're not allowed in space, dude. Humans freaking wreck everything. Can't you tell? That was like, dude, that's like with the muskrat and all of his shit got blasted out of the sky. We're not allowed up there. We litter stuff. And there was just an episode on Northern Exposure that Maggie's boyfriend or ex-boy or whatever, a satellite landed on him. And we just rewatched that episode yesterday, and then all of his freaking came plummeting. 40 of them, I think they say, because people have nefarious intentions, and if it is not good for everybody, it's not going to be allowed to happen. It just won't happen. It might get like a good kickoff for a while kind of thing. It might start off real good, but something's going to happen. People are getting too tired of this crap, man. People are just, it's just getting too tired. You're cooking? That's cool. What are you cooking? I hope you're cooking something good. That's what I was going to ask the couple for to do the ceremony. I was going to see if she's a good cook, because I think she's a mom. I think she's a good cook. I'm going to see if she can make me and Mom some home-cooked food. Yeah. I'm going to be the bartering minister. Yeah, so... You slept almost all day? Yeah, and time is just freaking so weird. So weird. I think I slept... I don't think I slept good last night, because I woke up at my usual time. I usually wake up about 3 o'clock in the morning. I should get up and do it live when I wake up in the middle of the night. But, well, it was just so darn weird not having been... Because usually he'll come in about 10 o'clock. He'll wake up after I come out and turn off the TV. And he'll come in, okay, Marge, I'm been ready for bed, Marge. Been ready for bed, Margie. But not last night, and it was weird. But it's okay, because he kept Grandma Retta company, and you liked it, huh, Ma?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, maybe he'll do it tonight. Maybe he'll be your bedtime buddy, huh?
Yeah.
Benny the bedtime buddy? Benny the big face bedtime buddy? He's a good boy. Oh, welcome, Jared Bailey versus the world. Good to see you guys. A roast broccoli and salad. That sounds good. Actually, Mom, we eat a lot of broccoli around here. Actually, I'll cook it up and put it in her scrambled eggs for breakfast. So we're trying to eat more green vegetables. I went to the store yesterday and bought 2. I could just live off cabbage, I think. Just straight up cabbage. It was a trip. I was yeah, I'm super excited that somebody would consider me. That would be cool. And maybe word will get out, because I do believe they live on the Pueblo. And the funny thing is it's such a weird, if you're new to this too, it's such a grand story on how we got to New Mexico, because my mom was born here. I know she was. She has first cousins like in the city, like 20 miles north, up here in northern New Mexico. It's a trip. But our whole lives are based on stories like that. So, maybe we'll end up being invited to live on the Pueblo one day. Nah, reservations are they're like a close knit, tight community, and unless you've been there your whole life, you're probably not gonna be really warmly received. But but yeah, the best thing to last night, the last couple nights, I'm like, okay, don't pick up any technology. Just go back to sleep. Meditate, breathe. I breathe, do the breathing when I'm trying to go back to sleep, where you breathe in, what is it? Whatever it is you breathe in, you exhale. You breathe in like a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, and then exhale for a count of 6. And that can put my energetic field in enough state. Because what I found is when you wake up in the middle of the night, you're getting all those frequencies, all those feelings that people are feeling. Like, because other people are, and it's not so much since the spam-demic started, because not so many people are going to bars and stuff like that. But when I lived in Salem, I'd wake up at 2:30, 3, and that's like after prime time, guys getting the wrong idea about the girl that he thought that she liked him, and she didn't. She was just trying to be friendly, but he followed her to her car, and stuff happens, so that terror goes out into the atmosphere. And you're at home, you get up, go back, and you just like get freaking hit by this frequency, because some of you are a part of her spirit that got disassociated, because when people get terrorized, oftentimes their soul comes up out of their body, and oftentimes they don't get all those aspects back. And as you can see, I think that's what's happened to a lot of these people in charge on the mainstream. I feel like that's what's happened. Like all these, because hurt people. See, when and it really lands once you've really been hurt. Well, for me, I've seen a lot of wicked stuff in my life, nasty stuff, gross, weird, twisted. I grew up in the armpit of California. There's a lot of Hell's Angels. People get drunk, like to talk. They like to gloat about the gross stuff that they do, So I never not lived in a world where this stuff doesn't exist. So when I see people going around, la, 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 everything's great. Did you get your I voted sticker today? I'm just like... There's so many other things for people to make a priority. I live in a small community, and there's a lot of people here that don't even have their basic needs. Like, they're just like white knuckling, hanging on. You got 3 generations of families living in trailer houses, trailers and stuff like that. And then you have like people that have lived here, don't want to be here no more, that think that evidently something about their presence is golden, and that they need to freaking sell their manufactured homes for like $350,000. And it's just like, what? Let go of that ego, man. Let go of that ego. What if people sold people houses for like, all right, I got $1,000 down, and I can give you $1,000 for the next 5 years, because people don't really care about the house. There's ways that people could do that, but there's so many people stuck in that. Doesn't happen. People don't do that. But look at what they're stuck in. What happens and what people do. Oh my God, I live in one of those states where they're freaking people are still having to wear masks. And it's just like, the governor of New Mexico, she's an idiot. What? Because of who she was born to. It's all blood. She, because her family she's 12th generation. She can fucking ruin the lives of freaking thousands of people. You'd be surprised. Look at all the organizations, all the new clubs, all the new non-for-profits. I call them false for profits, that are coming up with all these new businesses to help people. Nobody ever answers their phone. I was surprised to get somebody on the phone when I called the county clerk's office today. I was super excited. Because trying to ask any questions to get any services for mom, I can't. There's no. I don't know what I'm supposed to. Their menus are not what I need. So I just like customer service, and then I get annoyed. So I think that's why a lot of people don't get what they need, is because I don't know. I have put up with so much bureaucratic bullshit my whole entire life that I'm just like, no, I'd just rather go without. I'll just go without. And I think a lot of people do that. A lot of people are figuring out how to circumvent and get by, and you know, by the grace of God, He's made it possible that we've gotten by, and that, you know, mom's thriving, and I'm just kind of sitting, waiting, putting money in the bank, trying not to spend money too much, but still trying to help people out here and there as much as I can without doing too much, you know, because I have those unbalanced tendencies. Because I don't got earth in my chart, so I don't have that freaking love, respect, adoration for money that a lot of people have. I could freaking, you know, if I had $1,000 bill, I could freaking light it on fire. You know, I don't care. It's a means to an ends. It's like, you got to have this to do what you want in life. But what if people could just go around doing what if they wanted in life? But because most people don't have like really weird ideas of things to do, you know, what would I want to do? I'd want to be able to go down to the freaking, to the construction lots and be like, hey, somebody teach me how to drive this thing, this excavator. You know, why doesn't the city have classes like that? Just take a weekend, go down on a Saturday, you know, just take a quick class and then be able to freaking rent those things out and do the work at your own house. Stuff like that. That's how the world should be. All this stuff should belong to everybody. Heck, and rest assured, not everybody's gonna have the initiative to do that. So you don't have to really worry about people, you know, racing in line to to do stuff like that. But there's a lot of us that have a lot of ideas and a lot of ways that we can make this, you know, that we could build up our local communities. If everybody just builds up their own local community, then you're going to have pockets, a little places of heaven on earth. And then soon, before you know it, the whole planet. You know what I've been doing? I've been collecting the seeds out of Mom's red delicious apples. I'm collecting a bunch of seeds. And then I'm going to figure out when to put them in the ground when we get to our forever homes, wherever that is, so I can grow us our own apple trees. And then mom, I don't have to worry about Mom ever being without apple trees. So, yeah, and I worked at a place called West Corporation in Omaha, and that's what they did. They had 3 facets. It was such a bullshit company, and oh my God, it was like they did the call menus, and then they had like call centers where back in the American Idol days, when you would call to vote for your favorite blah blah and press whatever to vote for so and so. It was like that kind of stuff. And then they had like line groups for credit cards, ESPN, stuff like that. And they had freaking VPs everywhere. And I was always having to fucking take pornography off these motherfuckers' computer. And I get so mad because it's just like, this was back in like 2007, 2006, 2007. And I would be like, those scumbags, man, they're so arrogant. That's how I'm a good judge of character, people, because I've been around a lot of people from like broad spectrum, you know. broad spectrum of shadow to light, and sometimes in the same person, but I put myself in these paradigms so I would learn about people. And you'd be surprised how many of these scumbags, they all drive the same cars. I was thinking about that today. It's like Porsche people that used to drive Porsches and Corvettes, now those same personality types, years later, they're driving Teslas. Same personality, different car. Same mentality, different car. Same arrogance, different car. It's a trip. It's a trip. But anyway, so those scumbags, man, it's like they made so much money and they could buy their own laptops. They could buy their own computers. Just, put that crap. Why should I'm just going to work. Why should I have to freaking go into your system and see, what I've seen? And they never got in trouble. They don't get in trouble. That was, like I said, 2007. It's 2022. Has the accountability? Some people have. I think the people that people don't like, they don't get in trouble. But there's a lot of these scumbags that people think are really swell, wonderful human beings. Yeah. So, right on. Mom likes red apples. I can't eat apples. They hurt my stomach. There's like, I got a sensitive stomach. I'm a really finicky eater. But I do eat healthier than I did when I was a kid. When I was... all I wanted is cold hot dog sandwiches. What do you want for lunch? Cold hot dog sandwiches. I'm such a little weirdo. What? I missed something. Thank you, Karen. Found some of that on some really should know better manager and staff. I warned them. They didn't get it off my work. Yeah, Cookie Cutter Homes. I started to watch Weeds, and I haven't watched it actually in probably a couple months. I kind of got really annoyed with freaking Hulu or my internet service. It's just shit. Everything's shit, man. At one time, you did used to get what you paid for. You did. And then, like, this whole thing, this whole spandemic happened, and then evidently customer service went out the toilet, and everybody act like, you call somebody and they act like they're doing, like, their shit don't stink, and that that you should be blessed that they are there to do whatever for you. And it's this air of indignance. It's just this attitude that people have, and it's just like, oh, people are gonna be humbled. They will be. I have been humbled in ways that I'd never wanted to be. And that's the thing is if this planet is really gonna ascend, if people are really going to have a awakening like they're talking about, a lot of people are going to suffer, because the spirit, like, what was it that Carl Jung says? It's a quote on Northern Exposure. Mom and I watch Northern Exposure quite a bit. It's in our rotation. And the spirit grows, but it doesn't grow without recognizing the shadow. And too many people on this planet are ignoring the shadow. The shadow, it doesn't exist. La, 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 that doesn't happen. And it does. A lot of people do weird stuff when they're under the influence. Under the influence of whatever. Pick whatever influence you choose. Stress, peer pressure, drugs, alcohol, fentanyl, mind alter, all these things that people are doing to make themselves feel better. Then what they're doing is they're making choices that they have to live with. And what we're finding is a lot of people can't live with choices that they've made. Look at all these, whether they're, suicide rituals, people are still dying. They're still dying, and this is only the beginning. The astrology, man. It ain't looking good in the next couple of years as far as like mass numbers of population. Like, is this it? Are we looking at the sun going out? Are we looking, all this stuff, all these cycles that they've been talking about, 12,000 year cycles, 24, they're all syncing up to right now. And all it comes down to is, am I living more to be in the line with God, or am I living more for my ego? And the choices that I'm making every single day, I am being a testament to good orderly direction, or doing what I want, chasing sensations, all that 3D earthly shit that keeps you bound and trapped here on a little alien ant farm. Incarnation after incarnation after incarnation. I wonder what Zach would do if he listened to like Dolores Cannon and stuff like that. He'd probably prove that she's a shill too. She probably died by the numbers too, But the thing of it is whether it's orchestrated, with incongruence, whether it's wave. See, I think particle is the divine, or wave is the divine, and particle is human influence. And so it's a congruence of both. And, people have free will. We make choices every day, Today my brother's been trying to get me to put mom in a home so I could go back to work and get a W-2 to pay into Social Security that I can't do anything with now. And it's insanity. It's insanity. But I'm the crazy one, man. People look at me as the crazy one all the time. All the time. Yeah, things are... But that's the thing, is God was like, okay, you're not going to go back to Redding. You're not going to Sacramento. You're not going to California. We were supposed to be in Arizona. That didn't last. That only lasted like, it was 5 weeks of hell in Flagstaff. And then we ended up here. But now we're like almost 7,000 feet up. So I feel a lot safer, because that's how this whole thing started a few years ago when we were in Oregon. I had a dream, and it was like in the middle of the day. And I opened the door. I like got up from my dream. And I went out and I opened the front door, and the water was rising, and I knew it wasn't creek water. I knew it was ocean water. So that's at that point, I was like, all right, God, wherever you want us, whatever you want, because I did my way. And I yield to good orderly direction. I know what it's like when I take my own will into my own hands, and life is a lot easier, when I don't. So, yeah. And you know what's cool, Karen, is that like the universe is putting people in my path. How you doing, girl? How you doing? She's back there rolling around because they're just, feeling love, feeling the goodness. I just live to, make sure they have a good life. That's rest. That's another reason how we ended up here, is for us all to stay together. And that's so funny. 90% nuggets and goldfish crackers. I was stuck on for a long time, like goldfish crackers, and then I'd have to like chew them up to a certain consistency, and then rinse them down with fruit juice. The quirks that people have, man, it's just so rad. And then I was introduced to Frito chips, and then sometimes I'd be like, put Frito chips on my cold hot dog sandwich. But like, people, the universe is bringing me people. They're putting them across my path to, well, that's what I'm going to try to do, is try and make my place in Taos, New Mexico, a little bit of heaven, and then, whoever wants to, because this is a highly touristy place, and I can't freaking stand the tourists that I run into. So maybe I could invite some people to come visit. You know, maybe have a conference of our own, a get together of our own. I'm good at throwing parties and shindigs and stuff like that. My birthday, man. People born on my birthday are pretty talented, entertaining, sometimes devious, people. If they, I have lots of examples of people born on my day that and the nefariousness of what I could be if I'm not careful. So I really try not to freaking live for my ego. Although I do respect and appreciate the significance, because if I didn't have an ego, I would not be doing these talks. I would not be as boisterous and extra and outwardly. After today's Thursday, so after tomorrow at 10, after I meet the folks to do the officiating, then hopefully I'll be able to walk over to the high school and talk with some of the kids and be like, dude, you don't have to wear those stupid masks. You don't have to do it. It's a recommendation, man. Even the superintendent says that you don't have to do it. Man, I wish people, but see, I don't know if mom ever tried to raise me obedient. I don't know if she could, because I was just so darn, no, prove it. How does that work? I'm Scorpio moon. I'm all about how things work and people proving it. Come here, Tuck. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here, I'll let you out in just a sec. Come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Good boy. You want to sit on the chair? Come here. Come here. Come here. You want the chair? Aw. Come here, bud. Here. Oh, you don't like the lights. Alright, I should be wrapping it up anyway. It's about the time I take the DOGs out. So, April 9th. At 11:01 a.m. And if you want to know about who I'm about or what I'm about, you go to Peace Dealer on the Peace Dealer's channel. He did, and just search and under his videos for reading for Heyoka. That's me. So yeah, Aries, April Aries are a lot different than March Aries. The googity gosh, she's a March Aries, stuff like that. But yeah. I grew up in Reading, but everybody knew where they did the human sacrifices down on Lost Lanes. And then I ended up knowing the people that lived down past there. And that guy ended up tormented. I mean, he died a tormented death. He was the same guy, friends I used to hang out with in high school, their dad freaking ran himself, did the Harry Carry with a steak knife in his stomach. Good thing he had a big old gut, I mean, people have freaking... The world is dark. I don't know how so many people can be sheltered from it for so long. It's just because they ignore us that have lived through